This is certainly not the norm for this trip. Having a fire is something that I haven't done too often. I don't have firewood, so I thought, well, I'll have a fire. All in all, top spot. Chuck with that. Bloody wild weather. Oh, there you go. This is day one. I would have packed up and home, I think. And I'm shagged. Back on pack. Morning.
Today?
Yep. Get another 50 k's in.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah. Thank you. This journey was far more than a passage of adventure, much more than launching upstream and following a route to the sea. Albeit such a passage, however physically and mentally challenging, it would definitely influence my journey. It was becoming more and more evident that my journey along this river was one of discovery, of self-discovery. I'm learning about myself. What am I capable of? Can I endure the physical and mental challenges? Can I manage my loneliness and isolation? Can I cope with the barrage of obstacles being thrown up against me? I'm learning. I'm learning new skills, new capabilities. Can I cope with the success of marking these significant milestones and then pushing forward, pushing myself to extend beyond what I've already accomplished? And there it is, that friendly message tone from good friend Albert, who was checking in with me first thing in the morning, following my progress, just making sure I'm okay. My progress down the river would see me pull up for the night at a great little campsite at a place called Pencil Island. Little caravan park just on the banks, lots of green grass, bit of a trek to get the boat up to the campground. Happened to share the night with a couple getting engaged. And from Pencil Island it was just a short few k's into Swan Hill, where I was so fortunate to have the folks who made their own pilgrimage up to the river come and catch up with me, spend some time with me and sharing my stories. As well as at Swan Hill and sharing time with the folks, that I was reminded that it was probably 50 years prior, or the best part thereof, my first ever experience of the Murray River was through the paddle steamer Gem and into the Pioneer settlement, where I experienced some of those stories of yesteryear and river life. It was becoming more and more evident the further I journeyed down the river, the influence it was having on the lives of many folk, those that choose to live along the river, and those like me who are out to recreate, to explore, to experience, to learn, to try and understand exactly how the river can impact on our lives. I'd been contemplating this moment, my first encounter with a ferry across the river. I wasn't exactly sure how this was going to pan out. What was my rites of passage? How would it all work? Am I right to go, mate?
Yeah, away you go.
Alright, thanks mate. All good? Thank you. Just like that, past the Spearway Ferry. Built just prior to 1914 and currently about half a mile upstream. Relocated obviously. Vehicles in the wind, and I don't know if it's boats or the roads close by. There's the main road out there. What is in the wind? I've just gone through a place called Naya, N-Y-A-H, and under the bridge, and it's a bit of a milestone
as well, because it's actually from when I started my journey at Towong to about this point right here. It's 1,000 kilometres I've paddled. So that's the distance I've paddled. The river distance, if you go by the mapping mileage signs, I've done more than that, but using my old mate here, it says just now it's 1,000 kilometres. Feels like it too. I just wandered under the Tulibuck Bridge, one of many bridges. I don't know, it's got a cool name though, Tulibuck. I've done about, what have I done? Just over 18 k's I've paddled, but the map would suggest I've done another 4 kilometres on top of that. There's a channel cut through higher up that bypasses 4 kilometres of river. To actually stick on the river, you'd be belly up. There's work going on. Serenity.
I was clearly in riverboat territory now, with private moorings spread along the river, both sides of the river. Some looked like they'd been set up for accommodation, some looked like they'd been set up for tours, some were still being set up. And the other feature that was becoming more and more evident along the river were the vast manifolds of pumps, irrigation infrastructure. There was obviously a lot going on beyond the riverbank, far from my eye.
So this is my little camp I've set up tonight. I'm just, or wouldn't even be a kilometre, maybe just a kilometre, downstream of the Wakul River, where it flows into the Murray. Nice little bend, got it to myself, plenty of firewood, and it's got everything I need. As the sun was going down out here in the west, drive my tent out from this morning's heavy dew, and I just had a boat go past, and that's the first boat I've seen on the river going operational in 2 days. So it's certainly a quiet stretch of the river here. So yeah, great little spot, and a little fire going. It's only my 4th fire for the trip. Yeah, keeps me a bit of company, and wasn't too hard to get the boat out. Bit of grass along the edge there, kept the feet clean. So yeah, we'll take it. So I've clocked over, well, I guess sometime yesterday actually, over the 1,000 kilometre mark, and the signs that are every 2 kilometres along the riverbank, I'm down in the 1200s now, so not far to go and I'll be under that magical 1200 kilometre mark. It's yeah, spurs you on a little bit. So there you have it, my little fire, my tent. So my routine is I get the tent up, get my bedding out, inflate my camp rest, get my sleeping bag out, let it air out, open it up, let it fluff up, set all that up, and then in the vestibule here I just have my tucker and my bits and pieces all set up as I need it, and out of the weather. Got my charging station there, just charging up my Garmin navigator, bit of a doormat. Fall goes pear-shaped and I need a bit more insulation because my mat goes flat, which has been happening. I can drag that in. Got the boat up there, I've put it to bed for the night. I'll start cooking some dinner in a minute. I don't tend to hang around too late. A bit different when I've got a fire. Might get an extra half an hour out of me. In bed at 7:30 instead of 6:30. So it's just on 7:30. Pretty good start this morning. By the way, the weather's fine at the moment. Not sure what's going on. Cloud build up. The plan is today about 55k in this bend where I just camped, known as Graveyard Bend. About 55k to Boundary Bend, which is an established campground, general store. Should be perfect. A bit fresh this morning. Last 2 mornings have been fresh, although this morning was dry. Minimal, if any, dew on the tent. So we'll motor on. River coming in there. Another one of Australia's great rivers. Well, this end is very narrow. And it is quite long. I'm not sure what it is. 500. Just come across this awesome crew. Retired school teachers. They're having a ball. They've been doing sections of the Murray River over the years, and just happen to be doing this section today, same time I am. And he's invited me to share their fire tonight, so pretty much where they plan on camping is where I was aiming for anyway. So I think I will take them up on that offer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of them, plus a bit of ground support. And yeah, great crew, all in their 70s apparently, on Ballarat Way. They're having a ball. Interestingly, since we left lunch, well, caught up with them. Probably an hour now. I haven't actually looked at the map once. I've got no idea how far I've paddled, I've got no idea where I am, and it actually doesn't matter. Their ground crew's already set up their camp at their designated finish point, which I'm going to make mine as well. And yeah, just cruising along, having a chat, and some great spirits, and I guess that's the element that you miss when you're doing it on your own. Don't have that camaraderie, but then what it does do is it gives opportunity to on your own to meet up with crews like this and pitch a ride if you like for the afternoon and just ride on their good spirit and hospitality. So I think these are some of the things that I'm picking up as I journey down the river. We've met some great people, and here we are again today. Another one of those encounters. Thanks fellas. Appreciate it.
After what would probably turn out to be one of the most memorable nights of my journey down the river, in the company of George, Jeff, Colin and crew, I was back on the water. I'd been woken early with the dulcet tones of someone singing in the background while they strummed a nice harmony on the ukulele. The team had obviously risen early and got the fire going, had the billies boiling. They were very supportive and get me back on the river and wishing me all the best and bon voyage. So thanks fellas, you've left an indelible mark on my memory and greatly appreciated.
Well, there's a an irony. That sign up there on the bank should say 1170 to the coast. It's the first one I've seen that's actually had the numbers removed. Anyway, why is that significant, that sign? 1170 also happens to be the distance that I've already travelled. 1170 from where I started to here, and that's telling me I've got 1170 to go. Halfway. Woo! Little celebration. I guess somebody's taken the bloody numbers off it. Anyway, it's also a bit of a sheltered spot. The wind's bloody blowing today. Southerly, southwesterly. This is about the only section so far I've had that's, well, it's probably behind me really. It's blowing me along. 1170, let's rejoice.
I was getting spoiled on this leg of the trip, meeting new friends, reacquainting with old friends, crossing paths with family on their own pilgrimage, using my journey as an excuse to come and catch up and have their own adventures. And in this instance, Big Brother and Big Brother Junior made the most of the opportunity and popped in to see me. Spent the night with me, cooked the most awesome meal that'll go down in folklore as the meal of the trip. Thanks fellas, appreciate it.
So we're at the 1,000 kilometre mark, 1,000 kilometres to the coast. There's a bit of the old river, there's a big loop out the back there, well, the original river, and it's been cut through, and it's actually, well, it's 108 to 1,008 to 1,000, so there's 8 kilometres being cut off effectively. And I'm on a little beach just here at the 1,000 kilometre mark. Of course the sign's gone. So 1,000 kilometres. Next significant town, is Mildura, and I think it's off this page. I think it's about 890 or 885 kilometre mark. So still got 120 odd or thereabouts to Mildura. The plan is I'll have a rest day there. Monday. 120. It's a bit much for 2 days really. 2 big days in a row, that's 60 a day. We've just had 2 big days in a row and that was 56 and 53. So to do 260 there, I think it's going to be a 3-day. What I might do is try and find a campsite 20k out of Mildura. I'll look on the map. So do 2 days to get to there. Day 3, a short day, get into Mildura Could have a slow start and get in there for lunch, by lunchtime. That sounds like a plan.